Tonight on Global TV News Prime. Federal government urges Revenue Commission on transparency. In business, Central Bank raises over 1 trillion naira open market operations auction. On the foreign scene, Spain faces chaos after major blackouts. And in sports, Tinubu congratulates Remo Stars FC on historic league victory. Hello and a very warm welcome to all of our viewers in Nigeria and around the world to News Prime on Global Television, coming to you live from the nation's capital, Abuja. I am Uyi Agumofwegbe. Let's quickly remind you that Global Television is on DSTV channel 365 and Star Times 276. You can download the Global TV Nigeria mobile app for Android and iOS devices to keep track of our 24/7 broadcast. Tonight, we'll begin by telling you the federal government has urged members of the Revenue Mobilization Allocation and Fiscal Commission to recommit themselves to the aspirations of government and the Nigerian people by upholding the principles of transparency and equity in carrying out their duties. Vice President Kashif Shettima gave the advice while delivering his keynote address before declaring open the 2025 retreat organized for new commission members in Uyo, Akwa Ibom State capital. Represented by his technical advisor on public debt management and revenue mobilization, Ibrahim Natagwandu, the vice president commended the leadership of the commission for initiating the retreat, describing it as timely, strategic, and aligned with the current administration's vision for fiscal prudence, equity, and sustainable development. The Nigerian Army has appealed to citizens to avoid wearing military uniforms illegally, emphasizing that respecting the uniform is an important part of strengthening national security and building trust between the military and members of the public. Chief of Civil Military Relations, Major General Gold Chibuisi, made this known during a chat with defense correspondents in Abuja. Kekelabo Okere has details.
Speaking during a media chat with the defense correspondent in Abuja, the Chief of Civil Military Affairs, Army Major General Gold Chibisi says the misuse of military attire by unauthorized persons not only violates the law but also aid criminal activities. Highlighting the security risk, Chibisi noted that criminals increasingly exploit military uniform to commit crimes, making it harder for civilians and security agencies to identify genuine soldiers. He stressed that the law must be respected to maintain the integrity and safety of the armed forces, warning that offenders will face the wrath of the law. The Chief of Civil Military further called for deeper civil-military relations and urged Nigerians to see Nigerian Army as their own institution, saying that soldiers are members of the communities and not outsiders or violent enforcers.
Army, and that's why I say that the media is very important in being for us to be able to communicate that to the Nigerian people. It is their army. They should be able to say our army is doing this. Not soldiers they do. No, our soldiers are doing this. And it is when you own the army, you see a lot of things come with it. Those of us in the army, we've had, yes, in some places you go, people look at you with awe, but that's not what we are looking for. We want to see the way they see us as members of their families, because we are not from the moon. We are from homes and communities within the Nigerian state. See the military, you see them as your people, working for you, making sacrifices for you, and understanding the role that for that they have contributed to building the country that we have, and they will help as we continue to build our country into the future.
The Chief of Civil Military further called on the media and the public to assist in sensitization efforts, stressing that offenders should be arrested and prosecuted rather than subjected to extrajudicial treatments. Kekelabo Okere, Global Television News.
Thank you, Kekalamo. Bayelsa State government has expressed dismay over the shooting incident during a political rally organized in the state by the New Associate Group. Gunmen suspected to be sponsored political thugs had disrupted rally and inauguration of the New Associate Group at the Church of God Mission Camp at Igbogene in the Goa, Bayelsa State. The governor of Adamawa State, Amadou Umarufin III, has officially launched the April 2025 round of the National Immunization Plus Days campaign, targeting over 1.4 million children under the age of 5. Kebriel Hassan reports.
The campaign launch took place at Primary Healthcare Center in Malkohi, Yola South local government area. Governor Finturi, who was represented by the Commissioner of Local Government Affairs, Honorable Ibrahim Mijin Yawaya Yaji, symbolically administered vaccines to children in Malkohi community. Governor Finturi affirmed his administration commitment to safeguard children's health against vaccine-preventable diseases, particularly poliomyelitis. He described the event as a collective commitment to ensure that no child, no matter how remote the allocation is left behind.
State, we recognize that the health and well-being of our children are foundational to the progress of Adamawa State. Today, we reaffirm that no child must be left behind. We must reach every child in every ward, every settlement, every household.
The executive chairman of Adamawa State Primary Healthcare Development Agency, Dr. Suleiman Bashir, commended health workers, community mobilizers, and development partners for their dedication amid challenging trends in insecurity. He also acknowledged the vital role played by UNICEF, traditional rulers, and religious leaders in supporting immunization efforts.
All the locations we identify the community mobilizers using the community leaders. And we've pushed all the vaccines to the last mile where they will be needed at the ward level, and they are there, and we have been monitoring them to ensure that vaccine efficacy has been optimized.
Dr. Nushat Rafiq of UNICEF expressed satisfaction with the preparation for the campaign. She said UNICEF continues to collaborate closely with Adamawa State government, providing technical support, logistics, vaccines, and financial assistance to ensure the campaign success.
Always seen a great response from the state government in terms of contributions from the state as leveraging all the resources for the betterment of children, even for these campaigns, for the child nutrition funds, and for everything whatever can be done for the children. State government is always a great partner with us.
The 4-day campaign is set to cover all 226 political wards across Adamawa State. Hassan Kabir reporting for Global TV.
Thank you for your reporting tonight, Kabir. Let's turn to other stories for you now. The federal government says it is set to pay the outstanding 5 months 35,000 naira wage award arrears to federal government workers. Office of the Accountant General of the Federation made this known in a statement issued in Abuja. The Accountant General's office explained that the federal government had earlier paid 5 months wage awards to federal workers in installments, noting that the outstanding arrears would be paid in installments as well of 35,000 per month for 5 months. The federal government has directed the West African Examinations Council, WAEC, and the National Examinations Council, NECO, to fully adopt computer-based testing, CBT, for their examinations by 2026. Minister of Education, Dr. Tunji Alausa, disclosed this during an inspection of the ongoing 2025 Unified Tertiary Matriculation Examination, UTME, conducted by the Joint Admissions and Matriculation Board, JAMB, in Bwari, Abuja. Let's join Hosanna Okorafo for details.
Minister of Education Dr. Tunji Alausa announced that both WAEC and NECO will start administering their objective papers via computer-based tests from November 2025, with both essay and objective components fully computer-based by May-June 2026. He says if JAMB can successfully conduct CBT exams for over 2.2 million candidates, WAEC and NECO can do the same. Dr. Alausa praised JAMB's exam monitoring system, describing it as meeting international standards and helping to curb malpractice. He also revealed that a committee is currently reviewing examination standards nationwide, with recommendation expected next month.
Also, we're going to get WAEC and NECO by November of this year to also start their objective exam on CBT. By next exam in 2026 exams, which will come up in May, June. Both the objectives and the essay will be fully on CBT. That is how we can eliminate exam malpractices. We want our children to study and not go ahead and not perfect way of cheating. When some students cheat during the exams, it disincentivizes the hard-working one. And figure now, if you're working hard for an exam and you saw other people getting lead questions, you will also be bad. And that's what
Earlier, JAMB Registrar Professor Ishak Oluyede clarified that the board's UTME exams have always begun at 8 a.m. with candidates advised to arrive early for accreditation. He had dismissed complaints about early arrival time.
We have always started our exam at 8 o'clock. The first session is 8 o'clock. The second session, 10:30. The third session, 1. And the fourth session at 3:30. But every reasonable person will know that you have these children are young and you need to let them know that they don't get there at the point of 8. They have some preliminary things to do. We must check their 250 of them that we are inviting. We must check their papers. So we expect them to do that for about 45 minutes. So if we are now asked these children that arrive at the center at 6:30, I don't know if anybody who can say that, oh, my own child arrived at 7:30 and they sent him back. But should we tell them 7:30? How many of them will miss the exam?
Noting it's necessary to screen candidates before exam begin. Professor Oluyede also debunked claims of candidates being posted to centers they didn't choose, stating investigations showed no such cases and blaming misinformation from some candidates to their parents. He confirmed that over 1.6 million out of 2.03 million registered candidates have completed their exams, with about 50,000 remaining.
Its annual exam meets all international benchmark. It's exam that is based that it's been foolproof for people to cheat. So this is an exam that it's done, monitored, coordinated with the highest level of integrity. And I'm happy that we're able to do this in Nigeria. And we have a good country. And with the president that we have now, President Bola Ahmed Tinubu, that puts so much emphasis on human capital development. When I say human capital development, areas of education, health, and social protection. And as well, our president is also working hard to fix all facets of the economy. And one important thing that we've seen around now, there's strong rule of law in this country.
The registrar further revealed that over 40 candidates have been arrested for malpractice, including impersonation and attempting to smuggle out exam questions with hidden cameras. He assured that results will be released after thorough verification. For Global TV News, Ogochukwu Mobno reporting.
Cora Falls, and following through with developments in the education sector for us tonight. Thank you. Operatives of the Delta State Police Command have shot dead 5 suspected kidnappers in a fierce gun battle. Police Public Relations Officer of the State Command, Brighter Dafe, confirmed in a statement that the suspected kidnappers had engaged the operatives in a gun battle after a raid on one of their hideouts in a forest between Isele-Azagba and Utulu. He said the operatives had earlier stormed another of the kidnappers' hideouts in Agu-Awambia forest in Anambra State, where they recovered one AK-47 rifle and 132 rounds of live ammunition. Justice Uwonsu Eheme of a Federal High Court in the Federal Capital Territory, Wuse Zone 2 in Abuja, has sentenced the husband of late gospel singer Osinachi, Peter Owanchukwu, to death by hanging. Owanchukwu was found guilty of culpable homicide resulting in the death of his wife on April 8, 2022. The judge held that the prosecution had proven the burden of proof placed on it by the law and subsequently found the defendant guilty. At least 5 persons have lost their lives in an explosion in a residential area in Omoku, headquarters of Ogba Egbema Doni local government area of Rivers State. Fine Face Dumna Mene, an environmentalist and executive director of the Youth and Environmental Advocacy Center, confirmed the incident in a statement. It was learned that the blast was said to have occurred in one of the rooms in a residential area used for storing illegally refined petroleum products. This is Global Television, and you're watching the live broadcast of News Prime with Uyi Agumofwebe. When the rest of the news returns tonight, Spain faces chaos after major power blackouts. Details coming shortly, plus business and sports stories on the other side of this break. Please stay with us.
Do you know that Global Television can be watched in Nigeria and all over the world?
Download the Global TV Nigerian mobile app for Android and iOS devices to watch Global Television real-time from around the world. What are you waiting for?
Start downloading and stay connected to Global Television.
We appreciate you for staying with us here on News Prime. The second part of tonight's broadcast returns with business, where the governor of the Central Bank of Nigeria, Olayemi Cardozo, says the reforms implemented by President Bola Tinubu's administration in the past 18 months have not been easy, but delivering results. This is according to Cardozo's excerpts released upon the closure of the 2025 IMF World Bank Spring meetings in Washington, D.C., the United States. He explained that Nigeria's delegation had attended the meetings to showcase economic reforms under President Bola Tinubu's administration. In a different development, the Central Bank of Nigeria says it has raised a total of over 1 trillion naira at its open market operations auction held on Friday, April 25, 2025. This follows an overwhelming investor demand that led to a 102% oversubscription. The Apex Bank's data indicates that the auction, which had initially offered 500 billion naira across two maturities, attracted a total bids of nearly 1.4 trillion naira. Enugu State caucus in the House of Representatives has thrown its weight behind the federal government's plan to concession the Akanu Ibiam International Airport, Enugu, describing it as a potential catalyst for the Southeast economy. The caucus commended the federal government for the initiative and urged it to hasten the concession process to enable the people of the Southeast and the nation benefit from it in earnest. On the foreign scene, a massive power outage across Spain has caused widespread panic, with customers rushing to withdraw cash from banks and crowds filling the streets in a futile attempt to get a mobile signal. Carlos Condori, one of millions affected in Spain and Portugal, was traveling on the Madrid metro when the blackout brought his journey to a halt. At Schiebel Square, one of Madrid's busiest areas, the failure of traffic lights led to a chaotic scene of sirens, whistles, and car horns as police tried to control traffic jam. Russia has declared 72-hour unilateral ceasefire in Ukraine and called on Kyiv to agree to the pause. Vladimir Putin, Russia's president, says his country's forces will conduct hot fighting from midnight on May 8 to midnight on May 10. The announcement comes amid rising pressure from the United States for Moscow to agree to a full ceasefire in the conflict. Let's cross over to Canada now, where authorities say the suspect in a car ramming attack that left 11 dead at a Filipino street party acted deliberately and had a history of mental health problems. No motive has been confirmed for the Saturday evening attack in the western city of Vancouver, though terrorism was ruled out by police authorities. The ramming shocked the country a day before a general election dominated by U.S. President Donald Trump's tariffs on Canadian products and his threat to annex his northern neighbor that has been a key ally and trading partner.
Possible to overstate how many lives have been impacted forever by this lone individual. There are many unanswered questions about why this horrific crime happened, the motive of the person who did it, and whether anything could have been done to prevent it. There are many things we still don't know, but we are working hard to get all of the answers.
Police Chief Ray raised the death toll from 9 and said the 30-year-old suspect driving a black Audi SUV had a significant history of interaction with police and mental health care professionals.
There are now 11 confirmed fatalities. We believe dozens more are injured, some seriously, and the number of dead could rise in the coming days or weeks.
Prime Minister Mark Carney, in a brief address to the nation, broke into tears as he addressed the tragedy. Uyi Agmofwegbe, reporting for Global TV News. Let's turn to sports for you and bring you some excitement now. President Bola Tinubu has congratulated Remo Stars Football Club on winning the 2024-2025 Nigeria Premier Football League title, a milestone achievement that spotlights Ikenne and Ogun State. The president describes the historic victory 4 years after the team's promotion to the Elite League as a testament to the hard work, discipline, and unyielding spirits of the players, the coaching crew, and management. He admired the team's resilience and perseverance, noting their courage in pursuing success despite 3 previous near misses in the race for the league title. And beyond Nigeria, Manchester United are continuing their efforts at securing the signing of Brazilian forward Matheus Cunha, with negotiations on final contract details currently underway. Transfer expert Fabrizio Romano confirmed the developments, stating Manchester United keep working to seal Matheus Cunha deal very soon, plan confirmed since 1 week ago. Let's bring Global Television's News Prime to a close with a recap of some of our big stories tonight. The federal government has urged members of the Revenue Mobilization, Allocation and Fiscal Commission to recommit themselves to the aspirations of government and the Nigerian people by upholding the principles of transparency and equity in carrying out their duties. In business, the Central Bank of Nigeria says it has raised a total of over 1 trillion naira at its open market operations auction held on Friday, April 25. On the foreign scene, a massive power outage across Spain has caused widespread panic on Monday, with customers rushing to withdraw cash from banks and crowds filling the streets in a futile attempt to get a mobile signal. And finally, in sports tonight, we told you President Bola Tinubu has congratulated Remo Stars Football Club on winning the 2024-2025 Nigerian Premier Football League title, a milestone achievement that spotlights Ikenne and Ogun State. And that's how we draw the curtains tonight on Global Television News Prime. A quick reminder that we are on DSTV, channel 365 and Star Times 276. We encourage you to kindly follow us across all our social media platforms now showing on your screen, including our Global TV NG. You can download the Global TV Nigeria mobile app for Android and iOS devices to keep track of our 247 broadcast. On behalf of my colleagues who have made tonight's news broadcast possible, I'm Uyi Agmofwegbe, appreciating you for your time. We'll see you again.